Hello, this is MARSHALgoldpack. This is my audio log part 9. So, we finished off the most epic raid we've ever done, versing 3 of the biggest clans, and we continued to grow. I figured doing countless raids against clans to other clans wasn't really cutting the cake. It seemed like everyone was in a massive power hungry just to cut each other's throats and just gain power out of it and move on. We all had this feeling that Reach was dying because we knew they were working on Halo 5. I wanted to find out who was truly the best clan in the community, because I was starting to get ideas that GOLDPACK was pretty high up there. So to find out some sort of solution, I decided to host my own tournament. And a lot of you might already know it. It was called the Great Conquest. And I started that baby in October 2014, the start of October. The idea of it was kind of like a game of chance, in the same format. There'll be a picture of the map of Halo Reach, sliced up like a very jaggedy chessboard. And every clan that entered the Great Conquest would start with a single slice of land. And there is approximately 240 pieces of land. Wait, no, that's 280 pieces of land, including the ones people start with. And the idea is that the clan would only be allowed to attack opponents that's right next to them. And the way I saw it, it was pretty legitimate, because this gave clans time to prepare for attack and to get ready, instead of just getting surprise raided and getting the shit kicked out of them and losing all their power immediately. We'd actually be able to, in a very steady format, find out which clan's the most professional out of all of them. I continued gathering clans for the Great Conquest. The first couple to be in it, of course GOLDPACK was going to be in it, and then 300, the Last Order of Reach, Shield of Honor, Fleet of Truth, Forsaken Knights, United Golden Nation, 99th Regiment, and Grand Army of the Republic, Soldiers of Valkyrie. And after a couple of weeks of that, I gained Plague, Epic Core Pack, Golden Widows, Nexus Invaders, Atomic Spartans, Guardian Hyrule, Joker Nation, and United States Marine Raiders. And about another month or two after that, there was another whole bunch of clans, which were known as the United States Marine Raiders, Spartans United, led by Fairy Tail, Trained Elite Force, Highcom Commandos, Crystal Desolation Fleet, the New Republic Youngblood, Ship of Burning Light, Die Hard Gamers, Sniffle Snuffle, yes, I know it's a horrible clan name, and Legacy of Nation. Gathering all of those clans for the Great Conquest, which was a total of 30. There were many more to join. It's a long story, because when I gave up on the Great Conquest, I was setting it up for like a whole 3 months before it became nothing. During that time frame, we came across, I was talking to a spy for mine who was working undercover inside Shield of Honor. This random person happened to be hanging around the party, and apparently she was no threat. Her name was KSI Eating Cox. As I'm talking to my spy, she randomly starts messaging me. She has a tiny little voice, and she's like, "Hey, can I join your clan? I bet I can beat you in a 1v1. I'm like, is this person KSI? Like, who is this person? So I said, sorry, I don't waste time just 1v1ing random people. She said, well, can I 1v1 any of your good players in your clan, please? And I'm like, and then she just randomly asks for a high rank, and I'm like, wow. After I was done talking to my spy and told her to shut up, I said, look, if you're that confident you think you can beat my members, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a high rank if you manage to beat an entire lobby full of my members. And she said deal. And in return, she'll tell me everything she knows, because she wasn't answering any of my questions, which is kind of annoying. But I was happy to play a game. I mean, who would think this squeaky little girl would be able to beat a whole lobby of GOLDPACK members. We hosted that little tournament. I said, any GOLDPACK member that can destroy this person will get a rank up. If she destroys you all, she'll receive a very high rank in the clan. And wow. Like, I wasn't too familiar with MLG players back then. I was pretty good myself, but I was very far from MLG. I was pretty much just a good military kid. And I looked at my members the same. We didn't have an MLG division. And KSI Eating Cocks just mopped the MLG Sanctuary floor, like seriously. In that single game, it was a 1 to 15 minute per game, and she went through every single one of my members. 15 of them, including me at the end. Spirit Eagle and Go Hockey managed to get about 7 or 6 kills on her. Playing at my best, I managed to get 8. Holy cow. KSI and Cox was something else. And I said, like, after that game, my members were so raging. I said, no, people, you should be happy. This person actually wants to join GOLDPACK. If you're talking down on her, that makes you no more better than the BK's 99th Regiment. I had a talk to KSI and Cox, and she was a different person. She was just on the second account. It turns out she was Miss Bliss, one of the MLG players for SOH. A clan that we were kind of neutral with. We weren't really friendly. We went on the good or bad side. We didn't like them after them just leaving off for dead in a massive raid against 99th Regiment. So I had a chat with her, and she told me everything and told me to keep it down low because if people found out, she'd get kicked from Shield of Honor. I said, yeah, totally. She was just going to use KSI Incox, and no one would know about that account. And it worked out. She, for quite some time, happened to be the best player in GOLDPACK. And we even went up against a couple of games against Shield of Honor. She had a real chip on her shoulder against Vengeance. Because, you know, let's all admit, SOHX Vengeance is an asshole. And certainly a cracker. So she played on the KSI Eating Cocks when we did games against them. But she received the rank of Lieutenant, I'm pretty sure. It happened so long ago, frankly, I can't remember the precise rank, but it was either second lieutenant or lieutenant. GOLDPACK followed the UK Army ranking system, not the US. We only had 20 ranks in our clan, not 53, I'm pretty sure. So that was pretty damn intense. She recommended we end up going MLG division, and I said no. GOLDPACK has always stayed as a single clan. The way I saw it, a clan with a whole bunch of uniforms and all different emblems, it just looks like rubbish, like the 99th Regiment. I mean, they've just about taken up every single colour you can get. It's rubbish. You won't know who's who if 2 clans the exact same like that went up against each other. There'll just be random colours everywhere. It'd be idiocracy. So I want GOLDPACK to stay as a single unit. If you're an officer, you'd be black and yellow. If you're just the main army, then you'd be sage and yellow. And that worked really well. By that point, we had over 100 members. And things were looking really good, especially after that battle. Our numbers were just increasing. I came across a person known as Savage Ghost. And he ended up buying a person. I can't remember his old gamer tag, but he ended up changing it to Gamma GOLDPACK. Good old Gamma. We even got one of the Shield of Honor members because they're going a little quiet by that point, and that was TG Silent Gun. He came in a couple of months after KSI Indian Cox did. And constantly bombarding 99th Regiment with spies and propaganda. We ended up getting Surface Monster to come over, and he was one of their best at the time. And a whole bunch of other members just time to time. We're constantly trying to downgrade them. Spread the real truth about 99th Regiment so people knew what kind of lying, backstabbing bum Dr. Dre was. Anyway, continuing on, we were a little bit quiet because I was just completely fixated on doing the Great Conquest. I was actually going to set it up so the winning clan of the overall Great Conquest would actually receive $100. Microsoft points or bank accounts, really up to them. And the system was like Civilization Revolution. Instead of seeing a couple seconds of a battle when you attack a unit, it's actually a raid, or even a BTB. It had a whole system and it was all been explained and posted on Facebook. And the overall winner would have to wipe out every other clan on the map, which would have been a total of 30 to 60, depending on how many was in at the end. We started the Great Conquest when we got up to 26 clans. It worked really well for about 2 or 3 clans, but I was still a little bit fresh in the community because I've been out of it for, a couple of years. And back in the day, a clan would last a lot longer, and to get to the top of the leaderboard, it would take a lot longer as well. But in this modern era, for Halo Reach, a clan could rise and become the best, and then fall and be completely disbanded, all in the time frame of 1 or 2 months. I kid you not, I've seen it happen before. It's insane. And with this massive inconsistency of time, this whole aspect, the entire goal for the Great Conquest, is impossible. Despite the amount of work and how much effort I was putting into it, I slowly gained to realize that some clans that joined the Great Conquest were really good, and they could hold their own. And continuing to set up the Great Conquest 1 month later, after gathering so many more clans, 1 or 2 of those clans would be completely non-existent. I'll say hello to the leader. I'm like, okay, man, the Conquest's going to be starting soon. How's the Nighthawks looking? He's like, dude, we're no more. We've disbanded. It's so bad. I lost all my members. I was betrayed. I'm like, dude, like, it's no good if you disbanded. You can't be in the Great Conquest then. I'm like, wow. So, yeah, the community was certainly not what I thought it was. The time frame of clans living was a lot shorter than I remembered. I mean, if you got absolutely wrecked and destroyed by another clan, you'd pretty much lose a lot of your good members because, people have a right to be in the clan they want to be in. If you get destroyed legitimately by a clan, then you're probably going to lose a couple of your members to them because they're going to want to suck them up and recruit them. But yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Leaders forget that they don't own members, they don't pay them, they don't have any right to own them. When you start acting crazy as if you own people, that's when things can really just go south. So I realized inconsistency of time was a real thing, and clans would rise and fall. And when learning this, I realized the 99th Regiment operated in the same pattern. Every now and then they would recruit a couple of people that would just go insane and recruit people. I happen to be one of them. When that happens, they go on a power march and destroy every little clan they come across. It's funny, Dr. Dre has this gross habit where if the 99th Regiment actually is attacking a raid, then Dr. Dre won't be in the attacking team. He won't be in the raid full stop. But if 99th Regiment is defending, Dr. Dre will almost every single time be in that raid. He doesn't like to waste his time in an attacking raid because he hates being killed a lot and it's no good for his KD. So I've had a lot of his members tell me. And it's because of clans like 99th Regiment, which is why there's such... I now remember purging all their members. Because of clans like 99th Regiment, they'll just destroy little clans and purge all their members. Now, a lot of people say, oh, don't destroy little clans, or then there'll be no clans prospering for the future in the community, and that's a lot of bullshit. If a clan leader gets destroyed by a bigger clan and loses a lot of his power to that clan because of it, then he should be a leader in the first place. He's horrible. Being a legend isn't about never dropping. It's about getting back up every single time you drop. It doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. It's the same concept. The more you go through, the more knowledge you get. You just use it to your advantage. But what happened is that it became too difficult because there was a lot of clans doing what the 99th Regiment was doing. If you're some clan, recruiting people, making a name for yourself, because community wasn't as hugely open as it was, and there wasn't St. Kilda clans thriving everywhere, when GOLDPACK 3rd Gen came in, it was mainly like the rise of the UNSC. Good old NAVCOM, HICOM, DDoSing everyone offline when they get the chance. You call them a single nickname, you're going to get DDoSed. And even diehard gamers was into destroying little clans. And other MLG groups coming up everywhere wanted to challenge the clans as well because it made good target practice apparently. But the real problem is, if you're a clan leader and you just want to start a clan and you start recruiting a whole bunch of people, you might get to 30, maybe even 50 people. Then you're bound to come across a clan due to your recruiting, and they're going to want to challenge you. Okay, so you see what happened is that you'd come across clans as you recruit, and they want to challenge you to war. And most of the big clans in the community was doing this power strive where they'd be looking for little clans to absolutely demolish and stay away from the bigger clans because they might lose power to them if they actually engage. And you see, when they destroyed a little clan, they'll pick up all the little bits and pieces after it. It got to a point where even if they were a good leader and they really wanted to get up there, it was twice as hard to what it used to be, because the second you start doing it all over again, you'd come across another clan that would want to do the same thing, and you could actually avoid them, not even respond to messages, pretend it doesn't exist. But they're so determined because leaders at this point knew they get power from destroying little clans. So especially like 99th Regiment and UGN and other trashy clans like that were really eager to destroy little clans, and they'd actually send out their soldiers and members to try and find out other gamer tags within that clan to message them saying, hey, your leader's not challenging us at war and all this kind of stuff. So they'd either pressure them into doing it, and if they still did not do it, they'd actually recruit their members by demoralizing their courage. Because, you know, if you're refusing to do war and you're ignoring it, that does look pretty sad. What other choice do little clans have when they're going up against a clan that's, you know, size and skill-wise is about, you know, more than 10 times bigger than that little clan? So yeah, it really became just down to the big clans that like to destroy little ones in the community. And when a clan would do a raid, it wasn't like the old days. They would organize the shit out of the raid. They want to set up a day. They want to set up a time. And the worst part is, you see these clans want to make sure they're in the right time frame. I mean, you have a right to plan your battles and to make sure it's flowing good. But it's so sad because some big clans, especially like 99th Regiment, they would refuse to do a raid if it didn't suit their way. I mean, if it was bad timing, despite how many members they had, if it was still bad timing and they couldn't get their best players in the raid, they just wouldn't want to do it. And then they'd ignore you, and what can you do? I mean, seriously. You start messaging all their people, they can't just like, who's this nobody trying to demoralize us, and it just doesn't work. The community was not small, it was not dying, but I can tell you, it was certainly different. And definitely not like it used to be. Clans were operating very different. So, what happened about the Great Conquest is that I figured out it was a doomed dream that was never going to work because of these clans just having a massive power run, like a power march for a week or two. Then they go quiet and they'll refuse to battle any other clan. And I came across this. I came across some clans that wanted to attack, and these clans on the map would be refusing to attack that clan. Like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. They would not admit they're weak, but they would refuse to battle in every other way. And I'm like, dude, you cannot refuse a battle. He's up against your border. You can actually see on Facebook, the map's right there. But they simply just didn't grasp the idea. I grasped it after that. Realizing that it wasn't ever going to work out. Unless I'm talking about 10 clans, but I wanted it to be pretty much the whole community. So I ended up disbanding the glorious Great Conquest. Although it was a waste of time, it was still a little fun because it gave me definitely a new view on things. At least I got that out of it. Plus, GOLDPACK did get a lot of publicity out of it. But spending time to recruit people would have been a lot more efficient. The last clan to join the Great Conquest was Legacy of Nations. Yeah. No, it's not Legacy Nation, not the MLG clan led by Ellen Bex. Legacy of Nations. This is completely original because it's got the of. The person leading Legacy of Nation was Mum's Rules. She later on changed her name to X I'm the Mama X. And we got along quite well. You see, I was chatting to her, and she's been in the community. She was still a bit of a greenhorn, but she told me she's been in the community for about half a year or over. And she didn't really like the clan UGN. We shared that in common, but more importantly, so we hated the 99th Regiment. They met the 99th Regiment, and the 99th Regiment pretty much trashed on them and tried to take a lot of their members, and they didn't like that. But Mama had a close relationship with a lot of her members, and they refused to leave. But more importantly, I'm not being sexist or anything, but female clan leaders are really rare to come across, and people in the Xbox are like really dumb. I mean, like really dumb. And but it's not just because they're girl, but it's also for doing something different. People would love to be in a clan led by a girl just for it being different. And the same concept actually applied with squeakers too, like SOCON Third Group and Atomic Spartans. Just because the person's squeaker, some people would actually want to be in the clan for that pure reason. Everyone's got a different taste. Anyway, so yeah, she was pretty cool, and we agreed to alliance, and everything was normal. GOLDPACK at that point, this was months later after I tried starting the Great Conquest and it disbanded. It was getting close to the end of 2014. We raided a lot. We had so much training. We're continuing to upgrade GOLDPACK and just recruit, but there's a lot of drama with the 9F Regiment because they're still standing spies in the GOLDPACK, and we actually converted quite a few of them, but not all of them. One or two of them were successful actually gaining maps and info they shouldn't have gained in the first place. But more importantly, spreading propaganda about GOLDPACK itself. One of my members happened to lost it. I mean, he just completely lost it. And that happened to be Spirit Eagle. The situation of how it originally happened kind of vagues me. He was just an absolute great member, one of my most skilled guys, and he just happened to act up, and I'm kind of like, yo, get in your place, and he refused to do it. And he invited the 99th Regiment into the game. We were doing a training operation and recruiting people at the same time on the GOLDPACK BZT, the original, and that thing was intense. Like, oh my god, that was intense. It's now our GOLDPACK Wolves training map, and I've been told it's harder than some S2 training maps in the community. It was brutal. Anyway, we happened to get to our makeshift armory for training and tried defending off 9th Regiment as Dr. Dre just walked on through the entire map that we tried. We didn't want him to grab it because Dr. Dre stalled maps, and I knew that. I didn't want him to get my map and to use it for his own benefit, like he does to everyone else. So I pretty much lost my marbles when that happened, and Spirit Eagle was gone. And I said, nah, you've chosen your side. You can go. And that was really depressing at the time. I mean, there's only one guy, but he still was one of the best. And he ended up coming back a few days later, wanting to be in GOLDPACK, and I'm like, bro, you're gonna have to come back as a heretic if there's any chance for you to come back. And he knew he screwed up. He figured it wouldn't be that bad inviting our most arch enemy into the game and getting to, be all idiotic. But it did a lot of damage. It really did. So he ended up coming back as a heretic. Yoshi agreed. A lot of members in GOLDPACK didn't. They're a little hesitant on the idea of a traitor coming back. I'm like, look, I believe everyone deserves a second chance. If he actually wants to come back and he's okay with being a heretic and us being allowed to actually give him shit. You see, if you're a heretic, you're below the rank of recruit. It's like -1. It says you're in GOLDPACK, but you've done something really bad to damage GOLDPACKs. So when you come back, if members want to disrespect you, you can actually do that. And no punishment would be dealt with the members that disrespect a heretic. At a limit. You can't go swearing and losing your marbles at him. But it's okay if you refuse to talk to him. Or you give him a little bit of negative feedback. We kept it to a limit. We didn't allow bullying. Anyway, he ended up climbing the ranks again. I mean, he did so much. He was so determined. He was recruiting 24/7. As like other members were, like Evil Orange, Yoshi, Hockey, Ghosty Boy, even Bloody Warlord. He's been with me since I even made 3rd Gen GOLDPACK. That was awesome. That was pretty good. Anyway, so another dramatic event happened, and it happened to be Savage Ghost. The 99th Regiment were actually joining our game. This was like a month later, and it was in December, start of December. 99th Regiment was somehow still getting in our game. It was stupidity everywhere. And I thought it was Spirit Eagle, and I'm like, seriously, Spirit Eagle, I'm losing my shit. I end up kicking him out of the clan again, and poor little Spirit lost his shit. I said, look, just give me a day or two, but for now you're not in the clan. I've got to research. And Spirit was like, nah, I'm done with you. And he was gone. That was pretty hard, because everyone thought it was Spirit Eagle, but I'm just like, why would it be Spirit Eagle? The way he was talking, the way he was so upset, didn't add up. It didn't make sense. So I went into theatre mode. I sat there for 2 hours watching the stupid film. And you see, if you're going to invite someone, like I kept kicking 99th Regiment, but they just kept joining and joining. And I ended up finding out who it was. It was not Spirit Eagle, because he was actively moving the entire time. A person who kept running off and going AFK was Savage Ghost. And boy, was that a shock. Savage Ghost was like one of my best guys. He was a really good recruiter. He ran his mouth. He talked a little bit too much sometimes, but he was so keen to be in GOLDPACK like he's never been in a clan in his life. So I was shocked to see that. I'm like, holy smokes. He'll just go AFK in a corner, invite 99th Regiment, start active again. I'm like, seriously, don't you go... Like in that game where I actually made people run laps around the parkour room. I'm like, I'm going to make you guys continue to run. And if 99th Regiment's going to join, I'm going to find out who it is. And Savage Ghost, like, someone would join and we'd all freak out. And Savage Ghost would be like, I need to go and pee, or like, I need to get drink water. Like, there's a phone call, my mom's calling me. And immediately just go, okay, for a second. I didn't see it because it's first person in the game. I wasn't flying around the place watching everything. I was trying to make sure Dr. Dre didn't get to kill anyone. That sucked. So I found out theatre mode, and the next day I called a massive meeting. And this was the weirdest meeting ever, like seriously. I got everyone in, and he seemed to be just fine. I'm like, even Spirit Eagle was there, and there was so much tension. Spirit Eagle was so sad and gutted. And I'm like, poor Spirit Eagle. And he was back to being a heretic. He was forced to wear that rank one more time. And everyone sat down, and they didn't like Spirit Eagle. And I was like, oh, Savage Ghost, unbelievable. Poor Spirit Eagle. I'm MARSHALgoldpack. If you enjoyed my log, then I'll see you for part 10. And as always, see you on the flip side, guys.